Good morning, my friends. It is Monday, May 25th, and we're going to be having our writer block today. I hope you got a chance to listen to this story, Super Sandcastle Saturday, about the sandcastle competition. But if you didn't, don't worry. We're going to write how to make a sandcastle, and I bet most of you have done that at some point in your life, made a sandcastle from sand or from some dirt. You will see that I posted some different options for your writing block. You can write on your whiteboard like I'm going to, or if you want, you can use one of these organizers that help you organize your ideas. So it says how to build a sandcastle first, then, next, and finally, and each section would have a picture that goes with it. Or if you don't feel like doing pictures and you want to write a little bit more, you can use this page that says how to build a sandcastle first, then, next, and finally, and it's just for writing words. If you have a lot to say, you want more than 4 steps on how to build your sandcastle, because maybe your sandcastle is pretty amazing, then you might want to use this page, which is just how to write a sandcastle with a big set of lines. And if you need extra lines, I even posted a blank page that you could put for the back. And if you want to do a different kind of story, you could work on this template where you do a picture of your final product and you write your story. And if you need more space, there's an extra page posted that you can use. As always, I'm going to go ahead and write it not on one of the paper templates, but on my whiteboard. But I know some of you prefer to write where you have a little bit of the organization first, then, next, and finally support for with you. So I'm going to use 3 colors when I write, and I'm going to start with green for go, and black for the middle, and red for the end. So if I want to build a sandcastle, and I could put a title on that said how to build a sandcastle, but I'm going to keep all my lines for writing. I'm going to start my first sentence with the first step. First, you need, what kind of things do you need to build a sandcastle? Well, you need sand, you need shovels so you can shovel it. You need containers that you can fill it to capacity with so you can get some different shapes. So first you need a sandy place. And some containers, containers, and some containers to put the sand in. There's my dog saying hello again. Put the sand into. That's a nice detailed sentence. I didn't just say first you need some sand, but you could start with first you need some sand. My next 2 steps that begin with then and next are going to be the middle of my story. So if I had space, I would put then over here, but I don't have space, so I'm going to put then right here. Capital T, because I'm starting my sentence. Then you wet the sand. Period. Not too wet, but wet enough. Enough is spelt very strangely. You could put E-N-U-F and I would know you meant enough. Not too wet, but wet enough to stick together. I'm going to flip over my board to write the words together. Together. Remember, is ear. Okay. My next middle sentence is going to go next. So I've got my sandy place and my containers. I'm going to wet my sand. So next, fill the biggest containers. Containers. I almost didn't have room to fit that in there. Next, fill the biggest containers and carefully, because you got to be careful at this part, carefully tip it over to make the beginning, ing, of your castle. I always use the biggest containers for the beginning of my castle. We learned from our building things unit that we need a big stable base if we're going to build anything on top. Finally, I'm going to finish with my red pen for the end of my story. Finally, do the same thing ing, using small containers to build the towers, to build the towels. Period. I'm going to end a sentence with just a conclusion that sentence. It says, then you are done! Exclamation mark. So let's see if I got all the steps. You might add more steps or less steps, more details or more details, depending on what your sandcastle is going to look like. But I have first, then, next, and finally. So I have 4 nice detailed sentences. First, you need a sandy place and some containers to put the sand into. My A got a bit smushed there, so I'm just going to go ahead and fix it. Then you wet the sand, not too wet, but wet enough to stick together. Next, fill the biggest containers and carefully tip it. I don't think I want the word it there. I think I want the word then, because I said containers. And tip them. It's one of the reasons we read over our work. Over to make the beginning of your castle. We want a nice base. You could say base instead of beginning. Finally, do the same thing using small containers to build the towers. Then you are done. Go ahead, my friends, and do your story about how you would build a sandcastle using the words first, then, next, and finally. And go ahead and draw some pictures that would go with it. I'd love to see your beautiful writing and your sandcastle when you're all done. Have a great Monday.